Hi, you have 30 questions today. Try to catch the twist before it catches you. Let's go. Which primary color is mixed with blue to create green on a standard color wheel? Correct answer. Yellow. What standard unit is used to measure the power of a car engine in the United States? Correct answer. Horsepower. What common gas do living humans exhale in the largest quantity after nitrogen and oxygen? Correct answer. Carbon dioxide. What atmospheric phenomenon causes a rainbow to form in the sky after rain? Correct answer. Refraction of light. Which continent is home to the Amazon rainforest? Correct answer. South America. What primary purpose does the red liquid inside traditional wall glass thermometers serve? Correct answer. It expands evenly with. What causes the sound of thunder during a lightning storm? Correct answer. Rapid expansion and collapse. Why are standard household light switches in North America designed to turn off when flipped down? Correct answer. To ensure gravity pulls. Why are tires on passenger vehicles predominantly colored black? Correct answer. Carbon black is added to. What keeps a space satellite in continuous orbit around Earth without falling? Correct answer. A constant balance between. Why do high-altitude jet aircraft leave persistent white trails across clear skies? Correct answer. Hot engine exhaust moisture. What primary mechanism allows household soap to clean grease off skin? Correct answer. Soap molecules bind. Why do honeybees typically die after stinging a mammal? Correct answer. Their barbed stingers and. What primary biological factor determines the human iris color? Correct answer. The concentration and density. Why does baking dough made with yeast produce a faint alcoholic scent while rising? Correct answer. Yeast organisms produce. Why do thick glacial icebergs display an intense deep blue shade beneath the surface? Correct answer. Dense ice absorbs light. Why can wild birds sit unharmed on uninsulated high-voltage power lines? Correct answer. Both bird feet rest on. What produces the tiny floating shapes that drift across your field of vision when looking at a bright sky? Correct answer. Microscopic protein. Why is copper traditionally used for indoor drinking water pipes instead of iron? Correct answer. It possesses natural and. Why do human ears and nose tips appear to gradually enlarge throughout old age? Correct answer. Gravity continually. What allows ice skaters to glide across ice rinks with minimal surface drag? Correct answer. Blade friction and pressure. Why does acoustic sound travel faster through warm air than cold air? Correct answer. Warm air molecules move. What forms the unusual pitch black sand found on certain volcanic island beaches? Correct answer. Weathered particles of erosion. What biological trigger causes brain freeze when rapidly eating frozen desserts? Correct answer. Rapid constriction and dilation. Why do many simple kitchen microwave turntables reverse rotation direction each time they start? Correct answer. The simple electric motor. Why does Earth experience high ocean tides on the side directly opposite the Moon? Correct answer. Inertial resistance. Why do passenger car windshields crumble into blunt chunks during crashes instead of sharp shards? Correct answer. They are made of laminated. What biological dietary factor turns wild flamingo plumage bright pink? Correct answer. Carotenoid pigments in. What physical force prevents solid objects from passing through each other given that atoms are mostly empty space? Correct answer. Electrostatic repulsion. Why does plain water boil at a lower temperature at high mountain elevations than at sea level? Correct answer. Lower atmospheric pressure. Thanks for playing. Write in the comments how many points you scored.